I have tried to film this video at least 5 times now. I don't know why it's so difficult, but I'm determined to get this message out, regardless of how I feel, because something is telling me that somebody needs to hear this. Maybe not just somebody, maybe quite a few people. And maybe this will be the start of a complete change within my channel. Who knows? I often ask myself, what is the meaning of life? I'm always asking this question. Why are we here? What is our purpose? Why is the world so backwards? For so many months on my channel, I've been talking about the things that are so wrong within this world and almost hyper-focusing on them. And at the time, I felt like it was really important. And it is. It's important that people know. But along that journey, I kind of lost sight of who I am as a person. And I feel like I've been neglecting my spirituality as well. I often reach points where I think to myself, okay, I've put this information out there, I've let people know, and the whole time my goal was to wake up the masses. I thought to myself, if I just put in all of the research and do these video presentations, explain it in a way that everybody can understand, explain it in its simplest terms, then maybe that can fix the world. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. But over the past few weeks, I've been doing a lot of reflection and thinking to myself, what does the world actually need? What is the real problem at its core? And without listening to any kind of outside voices or looking at all of the information that's out there on the internet, when I look into my heart, I think to myself, the number one problem in this world is people do not believe in themselves. People don't love themselves. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying majoritively, the root cause of all of these problems is that people don't love themselves. And you might be thinking, well, it's not that simple, but it actually is. The corruption within this system thrives on people being in a state of weakness, fear, feeling helpless and feeling powerless. But if people could understand the level of power that they actually have, energetically, spiritually, mentally, if people could realise that and honour themselves, then there is no way that any of us would ever be able to be controlled, manipulated, and we'd also realise that we are actually more powerful than the people who are trying to control us. Believe it or not, the people who are trying to control us, e.g. the Satanists, the elites, whatever you want to call them, the reason why they are so power hungry and so evil is because they are actually in the lowest state you could imagine. They're overcompensating. So when I talk about people loving themselves, I don't mean it in a sense of run yourself a bath, treat yourself, look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're beautiful. No, it's deeper than that. What I mean by loving yourself is recognizing that you are one of God's creations. So when you think low of yourself, you're actually thinking low of something that God created. When you go against your integrity, you're not honouring yourself. If you've ever heard the phrase, hurt people, right? That's pretty much it. And when you hurt someone, when you actively seek to hurt another person, what you are doing is acting immorally. And if we don't have morals in the world, then we're screwed. This video is probably going to be all over the place. I don't care at this point because I am not filming this again, okay? I think that we're moving into a new wave, like a new phase. Most of us by now are aware that everything is corrupt, and for the people out there who aren't aware, I personally think that they just don't want to know. They don't want to acknowledge the truth. And no matter how well you explain it to them, no matter how much research you try and present to them, because I've done this, I've tried to present the actual facts, the research. Some people really, they lock off. They're just like, I don't want to know. And I personally can't relate to that because it's just in my nature. I want to know the absolute truth, no matter if it's painful or if it shatters a belief system. The truth is objective. It can't be changed. But we're living in a world right now where people use the phrase your truth. The waters are becoming very muddy, and I think people are getting to the point where nobody knows what's real anymore. Nobody knows what to believe in anymore, because we're being perpetually gaslit by the media, the controllers. So I'm moving from a place where my goal used to be waking up the masses. I want to change that, because to me, the information's out there now. Anyone can search it. If you're seeking the truth, you will eventually find it. But one thing that I'm going to focus more on is the people who are actually willing to listen. You guys. When I started doing truther type content, I didn't realise that what I would actually attract was other like-minded people that are already awake, right? And I think that there are enough people out there now who know the truth, who have the ability to change the world and the reality that we're living in, and I think that we're ready to hit the next step. One thing is for certain, and that is we can't just keep talking and keep thinking about what the elites are doing. And I'm not saying that we should just ignore the problems, but the more that we focus on it, we are adding to the momentum now. I feel like there was a place for exposing things over the past 4 years, and obviously if there's more things to expose, yeah, expose them. Sometimes I get so fearful of people calling me woo-woo, or if I talk about spirituality, then it discredits everything else that I talk about, and people just dismiss me as a crazy person. But I know that this material world is not the be-all and end-all. This is not it. There is more going on. And recently, the only things that I have been interested in is filling my mind with inspiring things. And for weeks now, the only thing that I've wanted to learn about is universal law. I know that sounds really random, but I have not been able to get it out of my head. It's the only thing that I seem to be interested in when it comes to research. And I think the reason for that is that I'm realising that underneath all the physical things that are going on, all the psyops, all the lies of the media, underneath that is a spiritual battle. But the reason why it's a battle is because the people at the top are utilising spiritual knowledge and we aren't, because we're not being taught about it. Some of you might be watching and thinking, what the hell is universal law? What is natural law? What do you mean? Back when I was all into the New Age, the only law that was spoke about was the law of attraction. And it's almost become this gimmicky marketing thing. But there are actually other spiritual laws that nobody ever talks about. And I'm still in the midst of researching, so I'm not going to come on here and say that what I am speaking about is the absolute truth, this is the answer, because like you, I'm seeking truth, and it's very difficult to find the truth when literally everything that is mainstream is a lie. Literally everything. You can't even search on YouTube for a simple answer about anything, because what is popular is not necessarily the truth. I'll give you a really simple example. Health and nutrition, or weight loss. You try and research about weight loss on the internet. The mainstream narrative is reduce your calories, consume diet products, consume sugar-free products which are laced with chemicals, consume low-fat products. This is what the mainstream narrative tells you. But I know from personal experience and from simply looking at it from a logical perspective that the key to losing weight or being your healthiest self is all about only consuming natural food, real food. I do not count calories. I used to, and it got me in a mess. And I was on a perpetual cycle, going round and round in circles, dieting, feeling like I'm really hungry all the time because I'm lacking in nutrients, and then eating crap and gaining weight, and then it just goes on and on and on. Suddenly, I stopped listening to the mainstream narrative and started following what my gut was telling me, which is listen to your body, eat when you're hungry, eat good food that's full of nutrients. Might seem like I'm going off topic here. Just run with it, okay? If it's that difficult to find the answers when it comes to something as simple as what to eat and how to be healthy, then imagine how difficult it is to find the answers to spirituality and the truth of how it all works, how this universe works. I'm sorry if I'm coming across a bit ranty. I think I've just got so fed up of trying to film this video over and over and over again that I'm just like, just fucking say it. The message I was trying to put across in this video is the law of attraction is real. And even though it's promoted in such a gimmicky way and people abuse it, and it's become popular on YouTube only for material gain, only for how to manifest a Lamborghini, how to manifest being rich. Just because it's become gimmicky and they've allowed it to become gimmicky in the mainstream so that people like us look at it and think, ugh, that's such a scam, or it's so fake, or whatever, and then we turn away from it. We turn away from it because we don't know the full picture. We're not being told the full picture. I want to make it clear that I will always be on the side of God and being a moral person, but I don't think that it is immoral to grow spiritually, to learn about occult knowledge, which, by the way, just so everybody knows, occult means hidden. Okay, it's hidden knowledge. It doesn't mean satanic, it's just hidden knowledge. And because we're being told that the occult is evil and practicing evil, we're then stopping ourselves from learning about universal law and how they're using it against us. I personally don't think there's a better feeling in the world than being able to empower another person. I personally feel like that is amazing. To inspire other people, to help other people grow, to have someone come to you and say, your video saved me, or I really needed to hear that, or watching you do this has inspired me to do this amazing thing. Helping other people has always been something that I just want to do naturally. I can't help myself. And right now, in this moment, that's what I want to do. I feel like the system is partially relying on quote-unquote conspiracy theorists to spread fear by proxy. We're the ones that see the problem. We're the ones telling people that the elites have plans for this and plans for that. 15-minute cities, digital currency, digital ID. But to be honest, over the past 4 years, all I've seen is these plans perpetually fail, one way or another. And I think we need to be mindful that when we're sharing this information, we also need to be empowering people, because otherwise what it's going to do is make everyone feel like there's no hope. And by believing that these plans are actually going to materialise and be successful, we are contributing to the manifestation of the dystopia. So there is a fine line. I'm not telling people to be delusional and to think that the world's nice and fluffy and the people in control want our best interests at heart. No, that's not what I'm saying. But even if you speak to the average person, everyone that I speak to now has a distrust for the people who are controlling the system. So I don't think necessarily that we need to prove it anymore, because it has already been proven. But the question is, where do we go from here? What kind of world do you want to create? What do you want to see more of? These are the questions that I've been asking myself, and now I'm asking you guys. So yeah, I'm just gonna awkwardly finish this video now. So if this resonated with you, let me know. Thank you for watching. Love you, bye. You know I'll be